fuck is McClay?
You drink those
every
show.
Every podcast I do.
Check. Can everyone do a quick mic check? I just want to check.
Yeah, microphone.
Check.
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 Can you do that one more time?
Yeah, check. These things have some good range, man.
Yeah.
Fucking solid.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Fabius is fine. Hey, buddy. All right, you guys want to start the cameras? We can start.
Yeah, I'm already rolling.
Oh, you're already rolling?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay,
Yeah.
can you hit the red button on that one, Don?
Or is it the Peter Piper?
Yeah, that'll work.
What's in the Peter Piper cup? Squirt? Oh my god. Let me see it.
Fabius.
What's in there? Gross.
Fabius.
Here, you can take it. Fabius, come on, you're gonna fuck up some
Oh my god, Fabius.
Oh.
No,
Come on,
no,
Goof,
he
come on.
is
Oh,
bad.
the ball.
He's tangled, not the ball. All the
Okay,
shit.
bye, buddy.
Fabius,
Fabius, come on.
Dungeon.
Oh my god, he's laying down.
He's
I
gonna-
have to carry him.
The Bogcast, episode 7. It's fine.
Podcast episode 7.
Sweet. All right, bye, babe. Bye, Fabius. Don Rizzi, if you could just say action, motherfucker.
Action, motherfucker.
Sweet. This is the Bogcast, episode 7. I'm joined here with my co-host Brian McClay. How you been doing?
Going through squirt withdrawals.
You mean you just can't poop your pants?
No, I
What's squirt withdrawals? That's weird.
It's the soda, bro, made by local bottling company Khalil.
It's made here
Yeah, it's local, bro. That's why I drink it every episode.
because it actually comes from Phoenix.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, I had no idea about that.
Are you trying to get
That's-
sponsored or
Yeah. That's the whole plan.
what's in that?
Squirt?
Swear to God,
No, it's not.
they don't have squirt at Peter Piper.
Fuck no, they don't.
What is it?
Soda.
Dr. Pepper?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, what's up, Don Rizzi?
Hey, what's up, man?
I appreciate you filling in there, running third cam, I guess you could say.
Guest directing.
Oompa, we miss you. Couldn't make it today. But anyway, I'm really excited to have our guest today. He's a bad motherfucker. His name's Chad Dooley.
Oh, shucks.
No, seriously, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man.
I've been waiting to get you on this show for a long time. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on
Yeah,
today.
no
And
problem.
so, for people who don't know, Chad's been a huge part of the podcast. He helped shoot the intro on the light rail. He shot a few of the episodes. He also did a short film called Late Fees. And he also has another film that is being shown at the Film Bar on March 31st,
Sir.
6 p.m. Tickets are still available. And that film is called...
He watched a lot of movies.
Yes.
The Aaron Jackson story.
He has a documentary called
Documentary.
He Was Watched... Or wait,
He watched a lot of
sorry.
movies.
He
So-
watched a lot of movies. So
A documentary.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking
About a
badass.
guy
awesome, dude.
who
Yeah.
watched a fuckload of movies. And I actually
watched
met
a
him. I actually know him, and he it was short notice. He couldn't come on actually today, but
He was supposed to. Well,
yeah,
he was gonna
we'll
try.
still get him on
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, do you want to talk about that for a little
Yeah,
bit?
so the individual who I've documented is Aaron Jackson. He's been doing stuff out here in Arizona for quite a while. I don't know how long to put a number on it to be exact, but he's an actor, he's a writer. He's had scripts at Fox for a while. He just recently finished up a movie called Expulsion, which is how I met you.
Yeah.
Because you were an extra.
So interesting, Lee. The guy that he's talking about is the very first film that I ever auditioned for. So before I was only doing extra stuff. I actually would run Slade. I would run Boom. I would run Lights or whatever.
Concessions.
And then finally I was like, you know what, I wanted exactly. And then I was having so much fun. And I was like, you know what, I actually kind of want to do this acting thing. And that was one of the first auditions that I saw. And I went to it nervous as fuck. That's a whole other story. But anyway, I obviously didn't get it. But I had Lonely Bar Guy number 3. You know about that.
Yeah.
So the director is kind enough to let me be in the film and be Lonely Bar Guy number 3, actually playing a doctor, where I walk in the background as a doctor, which is funny, but I'm Lonely Bar Guy number 3.
That's great.
At that time, my only goal, I wasn't even trying to be an actor. All I wanted was 100 Lonely Bar Guy number 3 credits on IMDb. Because
I remember that.
Yeah, okay.
I remember that. Yeah.
Which
But
was
anyway.
funny because that was what I talked to you. I don't know if you remember or not, but I talked to you about doing a documentary.
I know.
About
I do remember that,
Lonely
and I
Bar
still
Guy
do
number
want to
3.
do that. Like, I still,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get 100, and like, I think it'd be funny 10 years from now to actually just even do a mockumentary.
That's
or
what I was just
whatever.
about to
Yeah.
say. How
No,
great
it
would it
would-
be
it
to
would
do a
be great.
mockumentary?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
already
Oh.
have the 100 credits.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
That'd be great.
But anyway, so while I was just complete background on this film, Chad was running
I was DP.
DP. Yeah, he was
at
a
the time.
director of photography for people who don't know. And then Aaron, well, I know he had a lot of involvement with that film. Was he a writer?
He was.
or-
I think Aaron wrote it. I could be wrong. He wrote it and he co-directed with Sean Stevens.
Yeah, Sean Stevens. Yeah.
And I think those two have known each other for years.
Sean, if you have that audition still fucking of me, please destroy that. Get rid of that piece of shit. That was my first audition ever. I hope he doesn't have that stuff.
No, send
No,
it to
he-
us so we can add it right here.
He probably keeps
deleting this,
everything.
I'm editing this part out.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I have seen Expulsion, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it about 2 weeks ago.
No way.
Yes, it's
So?
you just gotta see it, man.
Fuck yeah.
It's interesting.
Did Lonely Bar Guy number 3 make it?
You made it. You were in there, man. They did not cut your part. So.
I filmed that shit like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like I forgot about it, kind of. I just kind of get words of it in passing with Aaron, and just so happened we screened it privately like about 2 weeks ago.
It's funny we're talking about this. So for people who don't know, we shoot 2 guests in one day. And although this episode probably is going to come out way after the previous episode, our previous episode was an actress, and she was just talking about those things, about filming things and then forgetting about them
Yeah,
and then coming back out and stuff. So that's funny that you mentioned that. We were just
Yeah.
talking about that.
We're probably
yeah.
going to do a lot of that, but who
Oh,
cares?
no,
Yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, so I met you as a director of photography on there, and then I think some time just went by, and then you had written Late Fees.
Yeah, so probably after I shot this documentary, because I shot this documentary like probably right after we shot Expulsion, like after we wrapped, because that's when I met Aaron, and then immediately he started talking to me about his 10,000 movie goal. So the average American, they say, watches around about 1,000 movies. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's a projection of that. Of course, movie critics are probably gonna have a different number. Movie fiends are probably gonna have a different number. But Aaron is like 39, he may be 40 now, but he's watched over 10,000 movies at this
Oh
point.
my God.
So spoiler alert, you know how that's going to end. But then right after that, I started writing Late Fees, which is what I kind of wrote with you in mind. So
Oh wow! Before we get into Late Fees, though, let's talk. I still want to talk about Aaron.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I know you met on this film. So he just started telling me about these movies. You're like, you know what? This would be a badass documentary.
So it was weird because me and Aaron have some of the top 5 favorite directors the same. And then Kevin
Who?
Smith
Just
came
real
in.
quick.
Yeah, I
Kevin-
wanted to get. Yeah, that's one I've been wanting to ask you that. Who?
my God.
Yeah, let's talk about.
Oh yeah, so
I know Kevin Smith.
Oh, dude, Sam Raimi, hands down.
Sam
oh my
Raimi's
God, I love Sam
badass,
Raimi. Edgar Wright,
Scott Pilgrim's one of my
so good.
top 10 probably, dude. I love that movie.
You know what's
so much.
crazy about at least the first 3, again, synchronicity here. I was just talking about Edgar Wright on the Absolute Geek podcast. He came up about the Ant-Man,
Yeah.
how he was originally supposed to do Ant-Man, and he kind of did he write the movie?
He got a writing credit.
Okay.
But he didn't get to direct it.
But there was still a little bit you could tell, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of Edgar Wright
anything
in
with
that movie.
what was it, Michael Pena?
Yeah, yeah.
Any of his scenes, you can see his signature all
Yes.
over it.
Well, that's a good point. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it's-
the guy who we had on that episode was talking about how that's why Ant-Man was one of his favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, because
Yeah.
you could see the Edgar Wright influence, even though he
it's
didn't.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's there.
It's okay. You got 3 more.
Yeah. Well, Robert Rodriguez.
Oh,
which is,
yeah.
and of course Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Because,
Those two guys are kind of most
Isn't that 4?
filmmakers'
Yeah,
favorite.
and what was that?
Isn't that 4?
Kevin Smith,
Well, Kevin Smith. I have
Sam
more than
Raimi.
4, but
Edgar Wright,
yeah.
Tarantino,
Yeah,
Robert Rodriguez.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
Rodriguez,
all.
yeah.
Yeah. So those are like those are the people that kind of had an impact on me in general, because like I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker after I watched Clerks, because I'm like, holy shit, you know, this guy did it from nothing. So it's like, I could do that.
Mhm.
You know, why not? So yeah, that's how it all kind of came to be and came to blossom into that. So I absolutely love it, man.
Did you see like a lot of films before you saw Clerks, and then you
Oh,
were like
yeah,
blown away?
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, Edgar Wright was probably more impactful in that regards, because I saw Shaun of the Dead, stuff like that, before I'd actually seen Clerks. I was kind of late to the party on that one, because Clerks was kind of one of those movies that's just kind of on the back burner. You know, unless you have a video store or something that's just there, you're not going to see that on public TV or anything like that. You probably will now, but not then.
No.
And
It's funny you say that, because we were in high school when Clerks came out, and we didn't know about Clerks, but we knew about Mallrats when Mallrats
Yes.
came out.
Yeah.
And at that time, Mallrats was like our little group's favorite movie, and we rented that fucking movie. So it was probably in the VCR and being on in the background while we were, you know, like for half of our high school years at Belanzi's house. So that movie got rented so many times by us, but like Blockbuster and Video Update knew who we were. Right? Video Update. They knew who we were when we walked in.
Yeah.
Mallrats. Yep, we'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we knew about Mallrats first, and then we knew about Clerks.
Yeah.
So you're right about that.
It was Dogma for me.
Yes.
Then I'm like, holy shit, there's more to this.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
but then you see Clerks, and then you find the story like, oh wow, he
Yeah.
did this from nothing, and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
wow, I want to do this.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's like, just the idea and the story behind it. It's like, God, it's like, you know, with the technology we have now, it's like,
Why not?
yeah, it's like they didn't have that. It's like, we have better stuff than that. Why not? make
He's doing
something,
it all
you
on film.
know? Yeah,
and-
he did
yeah,
it the hard way, man. Black and white just to save money. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Can you imagine? It's
and
like,
he did it just like, you know, everybody else learned along the way.
Yeah, hands down.
Unfortunately, that turned into what was that Bruce Willis movie, Cop Out or whatever?
Well, you know, that movie sucks, but
It turned into
It
Tusk.
turned into Yoga Hosers.
Yeah,
too.
Yoga Hosers.
I've never
Yeah.
even seen that one.
It's not good.
Yeah. It's
I
bad.
love
Should I
Kevin
watch
Smith,
it for
but
how bad it is?
It's yeah.
He even kind of says how.
No,
sucks.
he's like, you know.
I think he
doesn't
did
want
that
to
on
be the last one.
purpose. I think
I
that was
think
kind
so
of.
Why would you do
yeah.
that on purpose?
Well, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he just.
You know
did
what
it
happened
to,
is he didn't start smoking weed. It was like 38.
That is true.
That's when
That is
all
true.
his movies got
Yeah.
weird. He started smoking weed when he was 38. He did Red State,
Mhm.
then he did
Which
Tusk,
is great. by
and
the
then
way.
he did
Red State is good.
oh, I like
yeah.
Red State's awesome. I do like Red
Yeah.
State. I actually haven't even seen Tusk, but then he did
It's good,
Tusk,
too.
then he did Yogurt Hosers.
Yeah.
Those are all completely different because he's high as fuck. That's why I'm really interested to see he's shooting the new Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
So it's funny because the other Jay and Silent Bob, he's playing a stoner, but he never smoked weed. Now he smokes weed, so I'm interested to see how the movie comes.
Well, you know
comes
what's
out.
weird? I think he might have cut back on the weed ever since his heart attack.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's
he did,
true.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. So it's
Yeah.
gonna suck.
It's kind of
No, I'm just
weird.
kidding. I just played.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Big shout out to the Absolute Geek crew. Matt and Kyle, both big Kevin Smith fans, and it's just like you.
Yeah.
One of the guys I do the other show with, Matt. He's that's kind of what got him into doing what he did was Kevin Smith. So
Yeah.
there's that whole group. But the thing about Kevin Smith now that's so weird is that I think that, you know, what life kind of happened to him and it's kind of changed a lot. And I don't think he could write the same type of stuff that he did. So I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen with the new Jay and Silent Bob, you know, redo
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was thinking he's high as fuck, but yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about that. But I was really hoping that he was going to do at one time, he was talking about doing a Mallrats series.
Yeah. Netflix apparently shut him down.
Yeah.
I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know what happened.
And then he jumped to, and I didn't find this out till the other night, that he went from Miramax to, because he was like Miramax's like
Yeah.
little internet
Yeah.
or little independent darling, right? And he jumped from Miramax to Saban, who did the Power Rangers stuff.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Yeah, it is weird,
so
right?
Weird. They're going to be doing a Jay and Silent Bob movie is going to have the Saban name
Yes.
attached to it.
That was
That's-
weird. I
What?
heard that.
Can you
Yeah.
explain that
Yeah.
really quick?
So Miramax was the ones doing all his
Yeah, yeah,
putting
yeah.
out all stuff.
So
So
now,
it's going to be Saban who did all the Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah.
The Japanese.
weird.
It
It
is
is
weird
very bizarre.
because you kind of, I don't know. I think of Saban and I think of cheesiness. Right?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Like, well, they
Right?
produced.
But you know they'll get final cut. So
Well, they did a really dark. It was a dark Jim Carrey movie, that came out here recently. All of his dark movies look like the number 23, but
That movie was great.
it was great.
Yeah.
But
the one where he doesn't say anything and he's a hermit.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I just saw the trailer, but I saw that Saban's name is attached to that too, and they're starting to dive into that real dark and gritty shit, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm
But
cool with it. Yeah.
It's they're trying to break the mold.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, they have most people probably when they think of them, they think of that cheesiness, that after school Power Rangers crap.
You know my
And
favorite.
I know a lot of kids grew up on Power Rangers and they love it, so don't get me wrong. I'm not
Fuck
I'm not
Power
down
Rangers. You know the best part of Kevin Smith is though, is not only just his directing, just his opinions on everything and his speaking. Like he'll just come out of a YouTube video
Oh
of
my
just like
God.
what he thinks of the latest Marvel movie, or he's so passionate about so many things that it makes you passionate about other things. You know what I mean? And then like he podcasts, and I actually got to see him in Hollywood in August. He did the Hollywood Babylon.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He's just he obviously loves to hear himself talk, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it because he's super interesting, and it's a lot of things that you're interested in that I'm interested in. And
so my two favorite things about Kevin Smith are, one, he does a podcast called Fat Man on Batman.
Yeah.
And it is, if anybody out there is a comic fan or a Batman fan or both, do yourself a favor, go listen to Kevin Smith interview Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil. He does it separate. It is so informative on how the change in comics was made from cheesy kid books to hard-hitting, social issues. And it's absolutely fascinating. So that's one of my favorite parts. My second favorite part is what he did with his best friend and Jason Mewes. He saved that guy's life.
He did save his life.
And
he was going down a dark path.
Yeah. And he did it in a way that most people in that situation have to you have to touch it with kids' gloves, but he kind of had to back off on him. But the second Jason came to him and said, "Hey, I need help," everything was available to him. And now you look at Jason Mewes, and that is such a success story. And I know Jason is and his wife are a big part of the View Askew family and everything. So that's my favorite part about Kevin Smith, is that he cared about his friend enough to do everything he could to get him help.
Yeah.
And so that's the coolest part.
Sure, man, you did that for me. Shit.
We do it for each other. We do it for each other.
But yeah, that's how I met Aaron. Was we just started shooting the shit about our favorite directors. We just so happened to have the same favorite movie, the same favorite everything. And then he's like, I'm coming up on 10,000 movies. And I'm like, oh.
That's a fucking weird thing to say, right?
Is this like one a day or two a day?
It's gotta be more
It's
than
a
that.
lot, dude. When you watch the documentary, you've seen it, haven't you?
I've seen it. I loved it.
He kind of goes into a little bit of background
He
on
has
that.
a fucking Dewey Decimal System, index part. Like
He's
I'm
kept
not
every
even
ticket
joking,
stub,
dude. It's
every
crazy.
ticket stub he's ever had.
That's fucking amazing.
Oh, dude, it's
You gotta watch it.
he's he's so fucking charismatic and just out there. He was just too interesting not to shoot something about, and he's kind of a private guy, so I didn't want to like intrude on his life, and it was weird filming with him for 2 straight months like that.
This is the first thing you've ever like filmed or shot that you went out to do.
Yeah, well, alone. I didn't have. I had one crew member who left halfway through just because he had to have surgery on his leg. That was Angel, and you know Angel,
Yeah.
right? He helped me out for the first few days of filming, and then he ended up having to leave for surgery, so I had to finish the whole damn movie alone. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know what to fucking do, because I barely knew Aaron at the time, and I'm just trying to get to know this guy at the same time while I'm.
How were you doing
filming it.
sound? Aaron,
What was that?
How were you doing sound? Was it off the camera?
I
or?
had a little. It was like an H4n attached to my hip. I was carrying the microphone and
shooting.
It was a bitch.
Yeah.
And it was not fun.
Did you have a plan going into shoot? Sorry, Mikhail.
No,
just
no.
really quick. Did you have a plan going into the documentary, like how you're gonna go about it, and because I know you normally don't you do like the interviews and sit down things first, and then kind of shoot footage, or
Well, there's multiple ways you can shoot an interview, or a documentary, because you could do it interview style. You can do it. I don't know the actual terms for it, but
just where you're going out and getting.
yeah,
stuff.
you can do it multiple different ways how you're going to tell a story. So I really didn't know what we were going to do, because it's like, how do you fucking shoot something about a guy who just watches movies and makes it interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we'll just go back to your childhood and let's just start from there, find out what happened, and then we can take it from there. You got all your tickets, so people are going to be interested to see your ticket stubs. They're going to be interested to see these notebooks you've been writing in since you first saw. I think his first movie was Empire Strikes Back.
That makes it even
And-
better.
Damn.
So good.
I think I remember
And
that. That's in
yeah.
the movie, right?
It is.
Yeah,
It
yeah, I
is.
remember.
I don't want to give too much away,
Yeah, sorry.
but no. It's interesting. You can watch it right now too on YouTube. It's up. So if you can't,
No, you can. You have to buy a ticket Sunday night, March 31st.
If,
for
if
the
you
film
can
bar.
make it, if you can go there, cool. But if you
I
can't,
know, I
it's
know.
up. No, Aaron's just such a fucking interesting guy, dude. And yeah, it's just.
Does
so
he
weird.
continue that? Is he at like at
Yeah,
12,000
yeah,
now?
he's still going. He hasn't.
Actually, that's a dumb question because I'm friends with him on Facebook. And I
Well,
see some of
yeah,
his
I
posts.
think I don't know if he's still. I mean, I guess he's still keeping count, but I don't think it's going to be as extravagant, you know, of a number next time. You know, I don't know if he's counting down to 1,500, you know, or 1,500, 15,000, you know, or something like that. I have no idea. But man, 10,000 movies. I don't think I could do that.
That makes me wonder how many I've watched.
It makes you question a lot because well, that's why I didn't want to put, like, at the beginning we put this stinger up saying, you know, the average American will watch this much, and it's like, if you go to Google and you type that in, there's not really
There's just some asshole that said that.
yeah, there's no like there's no way to really back it up. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of word of mouth, you know. So it's like,
Sounds
how
good
do
to
we
me. What was
cite
it,
that?
1,000?
Yeah,
It's about 1,000, and I guess I could kind of believe that.
That's a lot.
It is
Still.
when you
But-
think about it, when you boil it down, you're like, okay, that probably
Yeah,
to the
20
average
movies
American.
a year.
Yeah, that's
20
probably
movie
accurate.
by the time you're 50, by the time you're 65, 20 movies a year is
I don't
1,000
think
movies.
most average person watches 20 movies a year. I really don't.
Well, I wouldn't either because
I do. Not right now, recently, but there was a time I was watching probably 200 movies a year when I was nerding out.
Yeah.
On methadone and shit, just watching the behind the scenes. I'd watch the director's commentary, the actor's commentary. That's my favorite shit.
But I mean, he dives deep. Like, he showed me his collection, and there's movies in there. I'm like, what the fuck is
Can you explain
this?
his catalog thing? I remember doesn't he?
So
write it
what he
down?
does is every time he sees a movie, he writes down the date he saw it,
Oh wow.
the rating of the movie, who he saw it with, if he saw it with anyone, and he
If
also
you got a rub and tug.
Exactly. Yeah. No. No. He does everything. Like, you name it, man. It's insane. Like,
That's
it's
on the back of
incredible.
the card.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the
Yeah.
movie.
But his number one thing is he's a big fan of saying, "I love me." Like, he loves seeing himself on camera. And I think that's what made the documentary happen, because he's such a private guy. I never thought he would let me into his life, barely knowing me, to shoot something that intimate and personal. Because I mean, he dives deep. We talk about his divorce. We talk about everything, and
It makes it more personal.
oh man, it does. And it got interesting because when I showed him the first cut of the film, he's like, "I don't want people to see this," and I was like, "Oh, why?" You know? And then we got in this whole conversation about why, you know, he doesn't want them to see it, why he doesn't feel comfortable. So there's a lot cut from that movie. It could have been a feature if we really wanted to set our minds to it, but we decided to trim it down to a short doc for 30 minutes and get more, I guess, the attention span now, you know, get eyes on it.
Focus more on the movie part than the
Yeah,
personal stuff.
yeah.
You can always add in that stuff
Oh, I
later.
could
do
totally
an
do
The
it.
fucking
addendum.
director's cut, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, I've thought about that a few times, but I kind of like it the way it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. You know, it's just a cool little film. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it.
So when is that going to be at the film bar?
That is going to be on
31st.
March 31st. Yeah, I think it's 6:00. It's going to be screening with a bunch of other films too. I'm not sure what yet, but
So we're gonna shoot podcasts that day, but I mean, you can even go, but I'm gonna go right after that. It's from like 6 to usually about 8
Yeah,
o'clock.
I definitely.
They show
wanna go.
actually like Matt, you heard it. Matt was here. They show about 4 to 5 different 10 to 12-minute short films, all made by Arizona filmmakers.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple other people I saw who are gonna be in there. I think God, who was it? Fuck.
I haven't had a chance to look at the list yet.
There's someone else I
Um,
know that's in there. I've been drinking since like 1. Can't remember. Anyway, it's just fun to support it, and plus to see your project on the big screen.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
fucking awesome
It's
when
gonna
you
be awesome.
you know
I'm
get to
looking
see that
forward
shit
to
on
it.
there. Is Aaron going?
Maybe. See, like I said, Aaron is a very private individual.
So is he going to come on the podcast?
He said he wants to. He was going to try to make it today, but it was kind of such last minute. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
he just
I
couldn't
understand
show
that
up.
for sure.
And I get that. When I say private, I mean I don't want to make him sound like a fucking reclusive, you know.
No, there's
hermit.
a lot of people though, because I'm kind of like that in a way too.
Yeah,
But Brian's
'cause
super
he's
weird like
not.
that.
He's not weird
In a good way.
Yeah.
He's not weird at all. He's just a private guy, and I can respect that fully. And there's nothing wrong with it. But he might come. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I was talking to this about somebody, a friend of mine yesterday, when I was showing him the, hey, check out the podcast and stuff, and he was like, "Are you okay with this being out for everybody to see and the stuff you talk about?"
Yeah.
And,
Like what?
well, everything. But hold on.
Who's
So
this
like,
guy?
it's a buddy of mine. You know him, actually, Ray, from work. So. And he was just like,
Well, I'm going to do this on camera then.
he kind of said, are you sure you want your work to see this? And because they're going to be able to see it. Anybody's going to be able to see it. I said, you know what? I'm not worried about that. I live my truth now,
Yeah.
And to be honest, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe I don't think I could. You get to a point in your life where, or some people get to a point in life where you just have to realize, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah,
If you have a
exactly.
problem with that, if somebody else has a problem with that, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? And you kind of just, do what you can to live your truth.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So I totally understand, being that private person, because it's sometimes it's tough.
Yeah. And
Also part of it for me is just pure laziness. I hate going out.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know. I don't want to speak for Aaron or anything, but I'll say he's a very intelligent guy.
It sounds like it.
He is. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
Can we get him in as a caller?
Maybe
Awesome.
actually that would
That'd
be
be
cool,
sick.
wouldn't it?
Yeah. Text him.
He's a very interesting individual, and he's very intelligent, and I think he just hates dumb people,
Yeah.
and I think that's part
Totally
of the reason
understandable.
why.
So if he's willing to come on the podcast, he doesn't think we're dumb?
No, I think he'll show up.
I'm just playing.
Because when I told him that you were interested in talking to him, he was all fucking
Oh,
for
sweet.
it.
Yeah.
No, because
I always had interesting conversation with him and enjoyed
Yeah,
talking
no.
to him. It was really brief, just when I met him
Yeah.
on the set, and but he was cool. I liked him.
totally did. Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'll definitely make a point
Yeah, man.
to go see
Yeah,
it
for sure.
because
Yeah, I think if we could just wrap those podcasts up by like 5:30, it starts at 6.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
March 31st, Arizona Filmmaker Showcase, run by Matthew Robinson. He was actually our guest on episode 5.
Great show.
Yeah, so it's
It's
gonna be
great.
cool just to see everyone there, and like I said, watching your guys' stuff on the big
Yeah,
screen.
man.
So, but anyway, let's start talking about some of your next projects.
Yeah,
What
man.
else you got going on?
so
did you want
I-
to talk about late fees? We can talk about whatever you
Yeah,
want.
dude, we can talk about late
I
fees if
definitely
you
want to talk about late fees.
I know you want to talk
Yeah,
about late fees.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I explain something just really
Yeah.
fast?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think I did explain this, but we do shoot 2 guests on each day, and what people don't also know is I don't tell McClay. I decided not to tell McClay or Oompa who the guests are ever going to be, and the reason for that is because I'm already kind of the guy thinking of questions and thinking of the standard kind of questions to ask, and I want them to just come up with more like just natural, like, oh wow, this is a video game guy, or
Yeah,
this is an
yeah.
acting guy, and just coming up more natural questions and stuff. So the previous guest that we shot today, I didn't tell him that Chad was our guest, and so he was actually filling in over there. So it was kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
You were talking about late fees, and we were kind of trying to save it for this podcast, and I think eventually you realized that.
So I basically just told everybody that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Did
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
When did you know that he was the guest during that episode?
You slipped up and you
Yeah, I
said
think you
it's
did.
going to come full circle and or
Yeah.
something
I
like
was
that.
kind of trying to tell you.
Well, then, well, that's
I
when I
didn't
realized
slip up.
it. That's when I
Yeah,
realized
yeah,
it.
no,
Yeah, that's when I realized it. But you
Anyway.
know what? That's totally okay because
Yeah, no, it's fine. We it was brief.
yes, it was very brief.
So, but with also that said, Chad's helps out on the podcast, so you're also the camera guy. So
Yeah.
sometimes you
And
might
I
have to
even
check
told
this
Chad
camera.
that.
Yeah,
that
if
camera.
you
So
notice
if
me spiking the camera every once in a while, it's because I'm trying to make sure it's still on.
yeah, and if he walks up to it, he's
Yeah.
not trying to get his own personal
Yeah.
shot in there. No, he's
no.
actually running that.
I keep
camera.
looking over there thinking, oh fuck, is it still on? Is it good? Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
use
fine.
all those shots in the edit.
Yeah,
and be
it's
like,
fine.
"Hey, the camera."
Look like a fucking prairie dog.
Anyway, yeah, dude. So,
well, I want to hear you guys talk about late fees for a little bit.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about how it started and
I love fucking movies, man. I love them so much, and I think it shows in everything that I've made so far. I'm making a movie about a guy who likes movies. I've made a movie about a video store, and it's like some of my best memories when I was a kid was going to the video store. And I grew up in a small town in Virginia, so we didn't have like a Blockbuster or anything like that. We had these rinky-dink, rundown fucking video stores called Video Visions or Showtime Video, and
It's like Video Update.
Yes.
yeah, it's nothing special, and it's just you go in and you just shop, and it's small. There's not a huge selection, so you go off of half the people that work there don't even know what they're selling, and you just go in, you see these video cases, and you're like, that looks fucking cool. What is that? I'm gonna rent it. And I always thought it would be cool to work at a video store. When I finally, started to come of age that I could work, video stores were starting to shut down.
Isn't that sad?
It is so sad, man.
And that's sad to me because some of my best memories about that, going to video stores, those are some of my best memories. I remember, I don't know if Keith will remember this, because when did you move to Arizona?
1983.
Okay,
82,
so then
83.
you might know about this. One of the best video stores, I don't know the name of the video store, but one of the best video stores that I remember as a kid, and I remember it really clearly because my dad was one of the guys that decided to buy the Beta.
Oh, yeah.
When Beta came out.
Betamax, yeah.
Yeah, so the Betamax, certain video stores didn't have, the selection. So the video store that we would go to was behind Taco Bell on 43rd there in Bell. Right behind that Taco Bell was a little video store, and it was small, rinky-dink, but it was like kind of that video store that was known to have like those, like, be a fan of like cheesy horror movies and gory horror movies.
And all the best porn.
Yeah, probably.
For sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
So like that was my video store for a while, and I remember going there so often and getting, some of the movies I remember getting are like Basket Case. Did you ever see? Yeah, like Basket Case,
Basket
right?
Case, yeah.
Like movies like that,
Yeah.
and that were just like really.
Dead Alive.
Yeah, Dead Alive.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
Dead Alive, Basket Case. The crazy thing is I never saw Evil Dead until Keith showed it to me.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm-
crazy.
That was mind-blowing.
I didn't see that
experience
till I
for me.
was like 16 when I met Pat.
Yeah, that's where the first time I
At
saw it
the,
was at the
Room 26
Yeah, it
studio.
was at the studio, and we were watching this movie, and I remember
Evil.
being
I actually
scared.
saw Evil Dead 2
Dude.
first.
Yes,
It's-
Evil Dead 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Evil
So-
Dead 2 fucked with me as a child, like, because I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to be watching
Yes.
it, and I'm like, oh,
It
God,
creeped
it's like
me the
this
fuck out,
fucking
man.
Crazy.
It didn't
Like,
creep me out. I was just like, I cannot believe this is a movie. This is the most creative shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
in
And
my
it was
life.
kind of funny and scary, right?
Yeah.
So-
Splat Stick.
Yes.
Yeah, love
Yes.
that shit.
So that's what this video store was known for, and I just remember, like everybody that I would talk to, that I grew up with, they knew about this video store and so and so. So that's one of my favorite memories, and it's sad that that isn't a thing anymore because I think a
is.
lot of
It is.
people, you're probably the last group.
Probably.
You're talking about how fucking lazy you are. You would rather go and get up and go and rent out your shit when you could just sit on your couch and pick anything you want.
Well, you got to remember back then you couldn't do that.
We
I'm
weren't
asking you
spoiled
now.
yet.
No. I'm just talking about that experience
Oh,
of
yeah,
going
yeah,
into
yeah.
a rinky-dink
No,
video
you're right.
store.
You're
The
right.
guy's like this. I mean, the guy that owns the store, he's probably got his kid that works there too,
Yep.
and they just hate being there. And they're smoking. Back then, they would
yeah, you
smoke
could smoke in
inside, and
buildings,
every time
yeah.
you'd walk in, it smelled like cigarette smoke, and it was almost. It's kind of like the way that they make fun of video stores now, and like cheesy movies.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this place was like. So we don't have that anymore. And I think Blockbuster was the first thing to kind of kill those, and now it's all gone.
Yeah.
Just because of technology. And I'm cool with that.
Exactly.
I'm totally cool with that. It's
all
just,
right.
It's just it's just sad that people don't have that same experience because it's such a vivid memory of mine.
It is, man. Nothing beat that experience of having like $3.50 and going into a video store with these sun-baked posters all
Yes.
over the wall and just like
Well, also renting video
exploring,
games.
man.
Oh,
That
yeah.
too.
That's the best
Yeah,
part.
that was
Yeah.
fun too.
That was big,
That was
big
great.
time too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just movies.
It's sad. It's unfortunate. And even when I went into my first Blockbuster, I didn't go into my first Blockbuster until I moved out here. Like when they were still kind of a thing.
How
Were
old
you
were you
like-
when you moved out here?
About 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay.
So there was one left. It was like out in Surprise, Arizona,
Yeah.
and they were shutting down.
Yeah.
And I went in just to see what it was like. It still didn't
Yeah.
captivate me the way
You
that
know-
these other stores did.
I watched a little documentary. It was like a 20-minute documentary. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or not, but it's a documentary. There's one store left in the
Alaska.
country.
There is.
Is
Yeah.
that
Oh,
where it
no,
is?
no. That one shut down.
Yeah, that one shut
down.
There's
Oh,
one in
damn.
Yes, that's what it's Oregon.
I think it's
yeah,
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
Yeah.
And that blew me away. That was so cool. And
Yeah.
they're doing great business.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Because
just
they're the
shot
only
the
store.
they just shot the Captain Marvel scenes.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Did you
I
see
think.
Captain Marvel?
I did.
Did you like it?
It was all right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah. It was,
As long as it's good.
Superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You seen one? You seen them all?
Yeah. I think to a point.
Yeah.
So late fees.
Yeah. Late fees.
Yeah. So get back into late. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
The video store.
the video stores. Yeah. So I always wanted to work in one, and when it came time, I couldn't. So it was like, fuck. It's like, what can I do to capture that? So I decided to write a script. And I wanted to write a script about this struggling video store right near the end of the millennium, like maybe the start of the millennium, I should say. So 99, maybe early 2000s. They're struggling to stay afloat. They have backstock of late fees they just can't get around. The main character, his father's sick. He's dying. They're trying to find a way to pay for his medical bills, keep him alive a little longer. And they pitched this idea of, let's go collect these late fees like we would, in a violent manner, and then things just take off from there, and then they just get themselves into a shitstorm of bad, repercussions.
So for most people that don't know, you wrote it as a short first.
I did
right?
write it as a short, yeah. And because I didn't think that it was, I thought it was a little too ambitious, because I was like, I can't get a video store, how can I do this? So I wrote it in a short just to kind of captivate it. Worst case scenario, we don't release it, we'll make a fucking fake trailer out of it or something. And I thought you would be phenomenal for that, at the time. And I was like, all right, fuck yeah, we'll put you in here. And you were telling me before, you were like, hey, you got anything, you write something for me, so I did.
Oh, damn.
And it was fun, dude. And it was a great time filming that.
For sure.
Phenomenal.
That was one of the best experiences I've had, man.
Yeah, man.
Just because everyone on the crew that you had involved, from Andrew helps on the podcast, with the lighting. I mean, it's not just the lighting that he does. Andrew's so smart with film.
Fucking
it's
great
insane.
with
Like
lighting,
when you
man.
just not just lighting, but when you run anything by him, he's like, well, if you do it like this
dude.
or like that, like he has such an insight.
I've
actually never met anyone like Andrew.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude.
One of our things, we pass scripts back and forth, and he writes some of the craziest shit, but it's good.
Oh no, he
And
sends
it's
it to
like,
me.
oh
I
my
read it.
God,
I
dude,
love
it's
it. I
good.
cannot wait to do one of his projects.
No,
dude.
it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I've been trying to see which one. We were gonna take turns in shooting people's projects. After we shot Late Fees, we were gonna shoot one of his, but nothing came out of it. And it's just it's not because he's lazy or anything. He's just such a perfectionist with his
He just
stuff.
wants to do it right.
He wants it done right.
Yeah,
and
I get that
and
too,
it's-
yeah.
I fully respect that.
To me, it's all about pre-production. You
It
know what I
is,
mean?
yeah.
And getting it right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. But
So Melissa was Melissa.
Yeah, she was in it too. She was a last minute ad.
I was gonna ask.
actually, yeah, because when we finished writing, when I finished writing Late Fees, we actually finished shooting it, and I didn't like the ending, because the ending, well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but
definitely don't spoil it, because I really want
it's really
people to
good.
go see it.
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
want
no.
people to go see it, not just because I know you guys, but because it's so freaking
the ending
good.
was added on, right?
It was
Not
it
just
was-
that scene, but the actual ending.
yeah, the whole
crazy.
like everything about the ending was like months later. I was like, I don't like this fucking ending. So we were in editing, and I was like, we got to do something to fix this ending. And then my buddy Manny, Manny.
No, for sure. He shot the intro for
he
the
was like-
podcast, by the way. Shout out.
Yeah, he was like, let's shoot something else, and I was like, all right. So I wrote a whole new scene, which introduced a bigger picture to that. So
I think that was.
I think
it was
Andrew had
so
a hand in
good.
that too, didn't he?
what was that?
Didn't Andrew have a hand in that scene too?
He did. Yeah, we shot it at Joe's Diner, which
I'm
that
not talking,
guy.
actually, I'm
is-
not talking about that scene. I was talking about the.
Oh, the writing.
No.
Or
I don't even want to give it away, but the dyslexia scene.
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That's another scene.
I think
that
he
scene was
he
not
did.
part of the original script.
It was
Remember
not.
We shot it.
No,
and then
it
that
wasn't.
So
Yeah.
there's.
I'm pretty sure he
So
did
what I'm trying
that.
to say is, when you're filming stuff, you're still writing scenes as you're
Of course.
going.
Oh
and,
God, yeah, dude. There's never nothing's ever set in stone. At least with me, I gotta change my mind constantly, like all the
Well,
time.
if you think of something better, why not?
Yeah,
If it's not-
exactly.
yeah.
And I think you're right. Andrew did pitch the idea for that thing.
Yeah.
The
I'm
banter
almost 100%.
between Melissa and Keith in that scene just
yeah.
killed it.
Yeah.
And how you set it up, and I know it's hard not to give stuff away,
It
and we
is,
want
it
people
is.
to see it, but it was really, really fresh, and we kind of hit on this a couple shows. I can't remember if it was the last show or a show before that, but people after like even before M. Night Shyamalan, what's that? How do you say the last name?
Oh, Shyamalan.
Yeah. Before him,
I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was always that twist, right? And everybody wanted this. So we went through this phase where everybody had this twist, and so most of the time it just was cheesy. And when you're going through something, and I'm not saying that there was a twist in it, but there was to have something that makes you kind of just go like, holy shit, that was genius, And there was a couple things in that in Late Fees that did that to me, that made me just be really, and I hit on this the last show with Melissa, that it just really made me think. I was proud to know that it came from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that it was shot the way you guys shot it, and that there's people that are doing stuff like this, because that was the first time that I've ever really seen something like that made me think that way, that like, this is really good, and it's coming from it's growing fresh from the community, or whatever you want to call it, independent, you know what I mean? Like the ground floor.
We had no money.
Yes.
I was gonna say that's a good point. Is that film was made all with love, dude. There was absolutely no money.
Yeah.
We didn't have a makeup artist. Everyone like that was
your
on the
poor
set.
back.
Just what's up?
Your back.
I don't
dude.
give a fuck about my back. I'm fine, dude.
I felt so bad.
No,
I was like,
my back's fine. But everyone just did that with like pure love, just because they love that script. You heard Melissa talking about it before, how happy she was when she read it and stuff. So
I had no idea she was so selective. Like
I
that
didn't
made
either,
me
yeah.
feel fucking good.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no
holy
shit,
shit.
yeah.
It's like, thank you.
it's got to make you feel good as a writer.
Yeah,
you know what
dude.
I mean?
I'm like,
She's
oh
like,
my
I didn't
God.
know that either. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
holy
dude.
shit.
That was incredible.
Yeah, that was cool. So currently you have the feature written,
It's written, yeah.
and and if we can hopefully raise money, and even hopefully it could even be better, so we can see.
Definitely.
So I know we still have to do like a table read. I think we're gonna do.
We're gonna try to, yeah.
And then maybe you said you might want to do another draft or something, and then after
I just want it to be.
you just want to hear it.
I just want to be. Yeah, I just want to hear what it's gonna sound like. I can already tell you the draft that I have is way too ambitious, and I need to pump the brakes. And I think I wrote it with just trying to get that out of my system. It's like, this is what I want.
There's nothing wrong with doing that and then toning it down. Yeah.
I think I did it to write it like as big as I could to get it out of my system, and then it's like, okay, that's done. I know I can't do this, so let's do this, and that's the next step. So after we do our first table read, which I'd like to do soon, if we can ever get it, it's getting everything aligned is the hard part. Maybe we can,
we do a Late Fees podcast table read.
Dude, that'd be
I'm just
cool.
kidding.
actually.
I'm just kidding.
That would be hard.
I know.
But yeah, no, it's written. It's just got to be less ambitious and more realistic at this point. And then getting access to all the places that we need is going to be hard too, because I scrapped together a video store and everything. I shot that in my living room.
Well, that was the other thing that was so cool to
Yeah.
me, is that Keith was telling me after the first time I saw it, I didn't really know much. I just Keith just told me, hey, check this out. And so I didn't know much. And then, when I saw it and he told me kind of the backstory about how you guys were just, putting stuff together here and there. And it was, it was really, really,
Yeah.
there was no budget, much
Yeah,
budget.
yeah.
And you guys were just kind of shoestring type stuff. To me, that made it even better because of how good you guys did it. And the ideas on how you shot the scenes and where you shot the scenes. I thought doing at a landmark, like Joe's Diner was really cool.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, Joe's great.
So,
He's fucking great.
for people that are in the valley, definitely go check out Joe's Diner. Most people live here know about it. So, but just all the little things that you did that people don't know about and how to do them, that is so cool to me. And not being in the industry, I didn't know about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So you figure out ways to get around that, and to me, that's what makes that even better, because it's so genius and it's smart on how you do things and you shoot things a certain way and make things look a certain way. And
No, I believe that too. Sometimes when I watch, I've watched millions of hours of behind the scenes of directors and commentary, and I remember watching a scene. It was like Ridley Scott, and he was talking about like, yeah, I wanted a crane shot for this scene, and they cut my budget that day, so I had to do it like this, and like that's why the shot's like that. But it came out awesome, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes the restrictions.
Sometimes
and,
less is more.
Exactly, less is more, and
And
you know,
it's
so
weird. How
well,
that
some
works.
of the really cool things happen because of those restrictions.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm saying budget though for the feature, I mean more like probably for locations, right? And,
Yeah, that seems to be like for us.
Yeah, for late
Oh
fees.
god, yeah, that's gonna be the
Maybe more
hardest
so
part.
of
'Cause
that, yeah.
I think we could, for the most part, we could probably access everything that
most
we
of them,
could.
yeah.
It's just we're gonna need the money to access it.
Yeah.
Because I know no one's just gonna let us go waltzing around and one of the last video stores is out here. I think just like one of the rinky dinky ones. I don't mean that offensively.
Yeah, it is
But
what it is.
but
You know what?
it
Let's
is a
just, might as well
smaller
just say if
store.
anybody has a VHS, a place that we could use that looks like a
Yeah,
VHS
no,
store,
for
fucking
sure.
hit us up. I'll fucking
Well, I've
cause
even been in
shit.
touch with Zia Records, dude.
Yeah.
I got in touch with them thinking, hey, if we could just shut some of the store off, maybe we could just use that.
That would be a
But
good
that'd
idea.
be great.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if it's possible because it's kind of they're not like a huge conglomerate, but they're doing well for themselves.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if they would be open to the idea of shutting business away from them for right now. But I think it would be good to have them.
It'd be cool to do maybe
attached.
late night.
Yeah.
Say after
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, after hours. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have them attached to it, considering they're Arizona based.
That's what I was just about to
you
say.
know,
Yeah, they're a
it's-
landmark. They're a local landmark here too.
So if anybody knows the owners of Zia,
yeah, I think the owner of Zia might have passed
he
away.
did pass away.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in charge
Yeah.
now at
Yeah.
all. But
I remember the first time I ever went to Zia's. Do you remember? Do you know what that was?
I went with you.
Yeah,
Was it the one on Thunderbird or on Union?
it was Thunderbird. But do you remember who it was with?
that's the one I go to all the time.
It was with your neighbor Bob.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
remember?
way. From Some Huevos Borrachos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's up to. Anyway, so I remember the first time I walked into Zia and I didn't really know about it. I think we were freshmen in high school, maybe. And it was like this whole world opened up to me.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's so cool.
It was so
Don't you
amazing.
remember when the one on 43rd? It was in
What?
Union Hills. It was they had the TC,
Yeah.
not the TC, but they had the
Thrifties.
Thrifty ice cream,
Thrifty ice cream.
and then the Zia's in there for
Yeah.
a little bit. That was.
I did go to that one, but that one was
it
kind
wasn't
of...
as good.
It wasn't as good because it was kind of like a little area that just had
Yeah.
sold tapes.
But I guess I scored some good albums there.
Yeah.
Oh man, music.
I
They had
remember.
tons of it.
I remember going to Zia's, and I think it was the first time that I heard Chaos AD. And I can't remember if you bought the album at Chaos AD there or if it was Bob that bought it. But anyways, it was the first
Bob, the
time.
neighbor,
Yeah.
he would have never bought that.
So then it was you,
Yeah, for
because I know Bob was really into Beck.
Yeah, he wasn't into metal.
Yeah. So anyways, I remember that was the first place that maybe it wasn't KSAD, maybe it was Roots. Anyways, so just that walking into that store and being in that store the first time, and I spent so much time at that store over the next 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would go there just to hang out and just look at stuff, and you're listening to good music. It was just a cool environment.
It's amazing. It's still good.
It's
I bought my
still
first
great.
Parental Advisory album there. It was Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
That's a great
And I
album.
remember I had to have my mom take me there, and I forgot how old we were when that album was. I was really young.
we were like
And,
6th grade, I think, 5th grade.
They had every lyric in the whole album, and she read all of them. And the very last song is about him getting pulled over by a female cop and her like
Yeah.
fucking pretty much raping him and shit. And I just remember like, what the fuck?
Now I remember, this is silly, but KSAD, I remember your dad stopped to pick up KSAD for you.
What?
Yeah. You had your dad pick up the album. I swear to God. I swear to God. We were at your house. That's where I remember the first time I heard KSAD.
Sick.
Oh, I'm kicking it.
Max, if you ever want to come on.
Yeah, that'd be great, right?
Yeah.
Dreams and aspirations. But
And it's even one of those things like how we talked about walking into a video store.
yes,
Zia
Same
still
thing with
has
Zia.
that.
I went.
They still have.
Oh,
it.
I
videos,
went to
yeah.
Zia's like 4 months ago.
They got books and everything
They
now.
have comic
Dude,
books.
They have comics.
Yeah,
They have.
it's a good place to go
Toys.
find comic books. I walked in there, and I remember walking in, and it still smells like Zia, and it just instantly took
Oh,
me
yeah.
back to being 16.
It's shrink wrap. That's what you smell. Is shrink wrap.
No,
probably
it's the
shrink
incense. No,
Shrink wrap and incense.
It's incense. That's exactly what it is.
probably, yeah.
And I just remember thinking, instantly going back to being in high school. You know what I mean? That's kind of like that whole same thing with the video store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's the whole experience of going and finding the movie and looking at movies, and even at the time that Blockbuster was around and Power Video and Video Update. I remember my favorite thing to do when I was in high school is we would, or not my favorite thing, but one of them, we would drive to the video store. We'd smoke on the way to the video store. Just find some cool independent flick, 2 or 3 independent flicks, and go back and watch like a couple movies. And that was a cool thing to do on a night where there's nothing going on. You know what I mean? So it's sad that isn't there.
Yeah.
But it also is cool because now we have YouTube.
Yeah.
We have YouTube, right?
Yeah, YouTube's okay.
YouTube's fucking great.
No,
man.
YouTube's great because honestly to God, man, if YouTube didn't exist, it wouldn't give people like me or even
this right here
a platform to even remotely even get our shit seen.
Yes.
Like nobody cares. You know, I'm not saying that people don't eventually start caring, but it's just so hard to get your shit in front of eyes, and that sucks.
Yes,
that really sucks.
Yes,
which is why I love the episode with Matthew, because he's doing that shit for us. He's helping.
Oh, big time!
Oh my God, it's crazy.
I thought it was really important to get him on here.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can't wait to hang out with you guys on Sunday.
Yeah,
on the 31st. So.
It'll be dope.
Like I said, get your tickets at for the Film Bar, Arizona Filmmaker Showcase. Do you want to say the name of your film again?
He watched a lot of movies.
He watched a lot of movies. Is there what's the YouTube link on there?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Know?
Well, I'll link it to you.
Yeah, you send it to me and I'll put it on here and stuff.
Yeah,
so
because it's been passed around so much at this point between me and Manny. I don't know which channel it's on.
What is there another documentary you're doing?
I was considering it. I kind of want to do a follow-up to He Watched a Lot of Movies, and I wanted to call it They Shot a Lot of Movies. And basically what it's going to be, I wanted to go around and talk to people here in the Valley who haven't fully gotten their projects off the ground before because of either, cast didn't come through, crew didn't come through, some setback, something fell through for them. And it's like, what could it have been? I want to go and not shoot the whole thing for them. I don't want to shoot it all for them, but I want to shoot a trailer for them of their movie.
That's a great idea.
And then I want to interview them, like what it could have been. This is what could have come.
This could have been one of the greatest movies ever made, but because this happened, it never got finished.
So that's kind of what I want to do. I talked to Aaron about it a little while back, and he's up for it. Because this kind of involves him a little bit too, because he had some movies that he was a part of that didn't get off the ground.
Anybody has, yeah.
And I'm sure that's one of the problems we're faced with out here is just getting things off the ground. Not even to a big picture, just getting things off the ground in general.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting the ball rolling, and it sucks. Then I don't know why it is that way out here. I've never quite figured it out. So
it is weird.
That's a really fucking good idea, dude.
It's different, and I'm hoping that we can shoot that eventually. I don't know when. Right now, it's just kind of a seed, just planted in the back of my mind.
Just water it.
We're gonna get there.
Just keep watering it. That's all you got to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think just as long as you keep watering it, and hey, it could turn into something completely different. I think that happens a lot, where a lot of ideas, that when they get fully fleshed out, they completely change into something different.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I haven't heard anything like that. You know what's funny is that I've gone from being a person that was I was a real big film buff. Especially I think there's something about finding movies, just like the same thing about finding bands and introducing them to people, where it becomes personal. You know what I mean? Like you show your friends a movie that they've never seen, and just like showing your people a band you've never seen, it becomes personal. And I really loved that for a long time. There was a period of time where that was our goal, is to kind of, find these cool, films, these art films or independent films, and that people hadn't ever heard about or seen. And I think I went through about a 5 year, maybe.
It got super lame though with the bands, because like I feel like you and Jay were like so out trying to do each other, like who found what band first, that like you barely would listen to a band and be like, these guys are cool, and then like I would listen and they were horrible.
Well, it's funny
and then
you
you would
say
never
that.
hear those
Yeah.
bands
It's-
ever again.
it's funny
There
you-
was seriously like 3 years where you guys would stress me out with so many amazing bands, probably about 500 that are never even talked about to this day. But there
Yeah.
was like this phase where it was like cool to be like, I found this band before you, so
Yeah.
here everybody, you know what I mean? It was like stressful.
Well, that's what caused me to quit doing that. You're exactly right, because it got to the point where I would just, and I'm still this way, and this is something that especially drives my little brother crazy, because I'll listen to a song like the first 30 seconds of it, and I want to go to the next song, and I want to go to the next
Oh yeah,
song,
that drives
you
me
know?
nuts too when you do that.
Yeah, but that's kind of what caused me to quit doing that. And this is funny. It's totally off the topic, but I became all I listen to, it seems like nowadays, is hip hop, because there's so many bands out there that I just don't. It's very rare that I find a band or somebody introduces me to a band that I really love. The last one that I remember that just turned into something amazing was Within the Ruins, and that band and what's that band? Sleep
Token.
Yeah, Sleep Token. Within the Ruins and Sleep Token changed my thoughts on anything non-hip hop. That there was good music being created out there, because there was just so much garbage that was out there, that it literally took these two amazing bands to just reignite that flame.
Yeah.
And that I'm sure that happens with you in film.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the last movie that really just kind of reignited that flame in you?
Get Out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, movies are starting to take that, well, especially horror movies, because I love horror. And there hasn't been a really good horror movie in a long time other than Get Out. And I don't even want to put that in the horror category.
I don't
it's
either.
really not. But that's the first movie where I'm like, you can do horror, but you don't have to do horror.
Yes.
You know? And it was so good.
Yeah.
And it just fucking stuck with me.
Yeah.
So it's great.
I'm
excited to see the new one too.
I think that was a perfect storm. I like to say the word this perfect storm, because for a lot of things that just become beyond amazing, you know, there's things that are so good. It's that perfect storm. With Get Out, it was the story, the script, the movie was amazing.
No,
but to have Jordan Peele write
a
it,
comedian,
direct it,
Yeah.
and I was such a big fan of Key and Peele.
Fuck yeah.
At the time, that it was so cool to me to see it be something completely different, and then to find out his love for film and for creating and stuff, and you can see it in his comedy and stuff, but
That guy's next level, man.
yeah, that was absolutely next level. It was so
Well, I mean,
amazing.
Jordan Peele in general is.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And to
he's
see the
great.
stuff that he's got coming.
writing, directing, acting. I mean, just his acting in the skits that he does.
Yes.
I am dying laughing. Just that.
Yeah.
And then he also writes and directs Get Out. It's like, what?
Well, he's got some crazy
Seriously.
stuff heading our way. I mean,
I know he has
they
another
just-
film, dude.
Us
that's-
looks insane.
Well, they just handed him over some franchise, right?
I don't know.
Oh, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Seth Rogen's
Yeah,
gonna be in
they
it.
did do that.
That's amazing.
I forgot about that.
That is so cool, and I love stuff like that. I love when the
Yeah.
perfect storm happens, because
Yeah.
there's certain things that there's a little bit of luck, there's a lot of the right time, the right place.
Yeah.
But man, when it all comes together, it's just monumental.
You got to watch his Tiger Belly episode. With
I did see it.
I love
loved
that
it.
because Bobby
Mad
Lee has.
TV.
I love it because Bobby Lee has an apartment like this. You know what I mean? It's all small,
Yeah.
and he was all nervous to have Jordan Peele because at that time it was like his biggest celebrity. But they were friends, yeah.
They
since Mad
worked
TV.
on Mad
yeah,
TV
so they were
together.
friends.
Yeah, so it's
But-
kind of weird.
yeah,
It's like, why would you let this person intimidate
I
you?
love that
Well,
episode.
here's the thing. That's why I love Tiger Belly, because Bobby Lee is kind of that person that you could tell his self-esteem isn't that great. But then when you look at him, he's probably got one of the most beautiful girlfriends. You know, his girlfriend's so beautiful. He's one of the funniest comedians out there. He's a cool dude, but his self-esteem is still so low. And everybody that comes on that show has to kind of tell him that, because he always
Yeah.
breaks himself down. And I like seeing that because it's really raw. You know what I mean? So
that's a good podcast. I love that podcast.
it's a really good. But that Perfect Storm is really great. And any other movies that were like that, even before then,
man,
what are some of the movies that just like that maybe somebody doesn't know about out there, that isn't the mainstream? I know we've talked about it on a couple shows and we say it a lot, but Martyrs, you know what I mean?
I was just gonna say that.
Well,
as a joke.
I was gonna say one of the most recent movies. Like, I'm not a big Nick Cage guy. Like, I don't really care for his movies. But goddamn, Mandy is a great.
I need to see that.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh my god! If you haven't seen it, fucking see it.
I've been meaning to see that for like the last few months. Actually,
I think you guys, especially after what we talked about earlier before the show started, you're gonna fucking want to see it.
What did you think about? I know it's not a necessarily like a performance, but did you see the animated Spider-Man film?
Not yet. I want to so bad.
that's coming out.
it.
That's
I
coming
keep
out.
putting it
on
off,
Netflix
And
soon.
I don't know why, but I keep putting it off.
It
And
was
I
so
think the reason
good.
why is because we're going through Spider-Man fatigue right now. You know, with everything.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire is always going to be my favorite Spider-Man.
Really?
Just because I love Sam Raimi. I love Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I can't.
Tobey Maguire, he's my
Plus,
the
Joey
worst.
Diaz is in it. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
too.
He is.
Yeah.
He is in there.
I love
I mean,
that.
Bruce Campbell's in it for fuck's
Fuck
sake.
yeah.
Like,
Well, he's in all of them. Yeah.
He is, and
Well, the first three.
And I can't. I can't
You-
stab my man in the back there, man.
I see. This was a movie that I thought I was just gonna be like, that's no big deal. But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
so good.
I've heard it's great.
so different.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man fatigue is the exact opposite. You'll go into it and it has nothing to do with. Very little to do with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I'm really big into the comic community, so I would see it anyways. But it really just blew my mind how well it was done. And Nick Cage does a really good job voicing one of the characters.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah, he's
become a character of himself, so
Cage
it's hard
is
to.
an enigma, man.
Yes.
Like, he is something just.
Yeah.
He's an alien, man. I'm
He's
telling you.
become
Is
like.
he still trying to get money? Fucking wasn't he fucking selling all his shit?
Well, so a
I
lot of
don't know
people
about
don't know
that, but-
about this, but Nick Cage is a huge comic book fan.
Oh, I know that.
Nick,
That's where Cage came
yeah.
from.
So Nick, for people out there who don't know this, Nick Cage is a Coppola.
Yeah, he's related to Francis.
Francis
Ford
He
Ford
is. That's his
Coppola.
nephew, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or,
yeah.
well,
And
well,
Sophia,
that's his uncle.
Yeah,
Sophia. He's related to the Coppola family, and which goes very. It has many vines in it, throughout the acting community. And he didn't want to, have his name be something that got him roles, so he was a big Luke Cage fan.
Even though it probably did.
Yeah, he probably did. I mean,
Let's be real.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
did.
come on.
so he decided he was.
Hate that fucking story.
Yeah, he was just going to use Luke
the
Cage
fuck
as
up.
his name. But here's
Seriously, that's the stupidest story.
Yeah,
I
but-
changed my
but
name
it's
so I
true.
couldn't get in it. Motherfucker,
yeah.
it worked. It helped you. Shut the fuck up.
Here's my favorite story about Nick Cage. Nick Cage, being a huge comic fan, when he got big and he started making money, I think at one point he was the highest paid actor. Like
Yeah, I think that's true.
Face
Yeah,
Off
yeah.
and after leaving Las
Con
Vegas,
Air.
and
Treasure.
Con Air and
Yeah.
that, yeah. So he owned a pristine, the best copy, the nicest mint copy of Action Comics #1, which was the first appearance of Superman, and he had it in his house in like a room, like on a wall, in a frame or something. And he threw this big party, and somebody swiped it. What a fucking idiot, right? You know what I mean? On top of, he owned everything else, but this is like the ultimate.
Yeah, this is
Comic.
the magnum opus of
Yeah,
comics.
you're right.
Yeah, no, it really is.
So he was so depressed when it got stolen, right? That's when he started having all his issues, and he even said that like losing that book was one of the reasons.
What?
I swear to God. So he started going
What a
through all
nerd.
these issues. So he knew all the comic stores in the country, and he contacted every one of them and said, "Hey, if you ever see this, please let me know."
I want to see a movie about
That would
Nicolas
be
Cage
great.
being depressed. His
Oh,
comic
no,
got
no.
stolen.
I've already got
that
something.
sounds
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, here's
Holy
the craziest
shit.
part, right? Here's the craziest part, and it serves him fucking right for being such an idiot. 10 years go by. Somebody wins a storage auction.
Yeah.
It's
In
there.
the storage auction is his copy of Action Comics #1.
Damn.
They know it's his copy. They give it back to him. Just before that copy got found, another copy that's not as nice as it sold for a record profits of like $1.5 million. At this time, Nick Cage is going through the tax problems. He gets his books back.
Oh no.
He's got to fucking sell them to pay taxes.
Yeah. He was selling other shit too. He had all kinds of
That's
badass
sad,
shit like
dude.
dinosaur bones.
But that's
and
what he gets for
fucking-
being a fucking moron and putting the greatest comic book ever made on a fucking wall.
You got a point. You should have that shit locked away.
Yeah.
The best thing Nicolas Cage brought to the world. I mean, he's done some great movies. Don't get me wrong. Is
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
Yeah.
Depp.
He got
Yeah.
Johnny Depp
Johnny
into
Depp.
acting.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
know
he
if a lot
did.
of people know that.
Yep.
That is a pretty famous story, obviously. But
Yeah. I really liked Face Off. I thought Face Off was such
Face
a
Off
good.
was
You know what
fucking
his best?
movie.
You know what my favorite movie that he
Raising
did?
Arizona.
No, Oompa said that actually a couple podcasts ago. Adaptation,
That was a really good
because
one.
he plays twin brothers,
Yeah.
but he's also playing real life Charlie Kaufman, who is
Who
my
wrote the
real
movie,
who
right?
wrote the movie, yeah,
Yeah.
and who wrote Being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Adaptation is a. Have you seen that?
I haven't, but
Yeah, yeah. Have you
sounds
seen
meta
Being
as
John?
fuck.
Have you seen Being John Malkovich?
I've seen bits.
You
and
would know if
pieces
you saw
of it.
that.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Dude, I'm
of
telling
it.
you, go home and watch Being John Malkovich.
They're absolutely
You will.
wild.
I mean, now it's kind of there's a lot of weird movies out now, but when that movie came out,
I just
that
hated,
was so fucking weird.
I just hated Cameron Diaz in it.
Who cares?
She was. That's the
It's
only
not
part
that
I
bad.
didn't
Don't
like.
listen to him. It's awesome.
I've been
It's
meaning to
so
watch it,
weird,
though.
right? But then the movie after that is Adaptation, and it's not a sequel of Being John Malkovich, but it starts off with like them on the set of Being John Malkovich, because Adaptation is a Nicolas Cage is playing the writer Charlie Kaufman, who wrote Being John Malkovich and Adaptation. Does that make sense? So the
Yeah.
writer wrote a movie
Yeah.
about himself, kind of,
It's a very
and he has a
meta
twin brother,
thing.
and so yeah, he killed it in that. There's a few movies.
He's a
He's-
good actor.
he's a good
man.
actor.
He
He
is.
is good.
Like I can't deny that Cage is a good actor. I just don't like a lot of his movies.
You got to get him in late fees, bro.
I
We should
wish.
race. We got to get a GoFundMe.
Dude, like no shit. I wish I could get Macaulay Culkin in late fees.
That'd be tight.
Think about it.
You're gonna replace me with
Think
Macaulay
about
Culkin?
Fuck yeah.
I would be cool with that.
No.
At least it's Macaulay Culkin. It could be.
Well, I was just thinking.
I'd be cool with that.
Here's why. Here's why I say that. If I had to pick from a list of actors, you know, like this is who it has to be. The reason why I say Macaulay Culkin is because he's sick of riding that Home Alone wave.
Yeah.
No one has given him a shot since.
He was
We could
good in
take. We
Monster,
should take Andy
was he?
Culkin.
Oh, Party Monster.
Party Monster. That was good.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't like Seth Green.
His brother's awesome.
Yeah, his brother.
Yeah,
is
His brother's
awesome.
awesome.
Scott
and
He's got two
Fargo.
brothers.
Yeah. One was in
Scott
Scott
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Did I have that director right earlier from Scott Pilgrim? That was
Edgar Wright.
Okay,
Edgar Wright,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's why you know what Scott Pilgrim was such a good movie,
So good.
and also for the people who were in it.
Oh man, it's got such like if you look
Oh,
at the
the chick
cast
from
that's
Captain
in that,
Marvel
you're like, what the
fought
Brie
Superman.
Larson,
Brie
yeah.
Larson's in it?
Because
Captain
Superman's in it.
America,
What's
Chris
his name?
Evans, Brandon Ruth.
Ruth, yeah.
Um,
That is crazy.
That movie had so many good people in it, you know, and at the time, yeah, they weren't as big as they are now, but I think they were at least a little bit up there. I think
Yeah.
Superman had already been filmed, right? With Brandon Ruth.
Maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that was and that was a comic book, you know.
Yeah. Canadian.
yeah.
Yeah. Canadian comic.
So that was really cool. I remember when that came out, and that was, you know, what was really cool about that movie, because I've said this before too. You know, one of my favorite all-time comic book movies is Sin City, because of how they kept the idea. They made it look like the comic.
Yeah.
They did a really at least the first one was just absolutely amazing. They harkened back. They had the whole feel of the comic. They had Frank Miller be part of the production, and they didn't let him fuck it up, which was even better. And you had Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez working together on it, but they kept the feel of the actual comic.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim did the same thing, and I think a lot of people didn't think it was going to work, and it really worked.
It translates very. I showed that movie to my wife for the first time in a long. Like she had never seen it, and she didn't know what she was getting into. And then she watches it. She's like, "What the fuck is this?" You know. And it's that reaction I think they were going for. And by God, they hit it. Like they nailed it. So good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Well,
Very
wasn't
good
the
stuff.
casting controversial for that too? Casting, what's his name?
Yeah.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. I think so.
Because I never read the comic. I'm
Yeah.
sure he knew the comic.
Well,
before
you
that,
know,
right?
to be honest, it wasn't a bad casting. I just think people were so Michael Cera was kind of pigeonholed. You know, he still kind of is.
Yeah, you don't.
I kinda
haven't
feel
seen
bad
him
for
in
him.
anything lately.
I think
Like,
the only thing I've seen him in
Arrested Development.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, like
I know
the
he's doing a
last
lot of
season.
music stuff, right? He has his own
Oh,
band
I had
and
no
stuff.
idea
I
about
think.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I just
guess.
I think that maybe was the issue because he was so pigeonholed at the time. But that was one of the movies that actually I thought did really well, but I don't think it did very well at the box office.
Probably not.
No.
Scott Pilgrim.
Unfortunately, I hate to say, but
No
most
good
Of,
movie does.
Yeah.
most of Edgar Wright's films fall under the radar, and it's sad. Baby Driver, did you see that?
I did.
I did. That was really
so
fucking
good,
good.
man.
That was really fucking
And
good.
I don't. The best thing about that movie's getting like a lot of praise for its soundtrack and
Yeah.
shit. The cinematography
was
Well,
amazing.
it's not. To me, it's not the soundtrack necessarily, but the sound design.
The sound design.
Because it's
yeah,
the music with the shots and the
Yeah.
timing of everything.
Yeah.
Like
the
that's not
timing.
easy.
Yes, the
Like,
timing
so
was
it's sound
amazing.
design to me more than the soundtrack.
I
The
feel
soundtrack's
like
good. but-
Edgar Wright's probably one of the best doing what he does, like right
Sure.
now, hands down.
Yeah.
Like there is no getting around it. He's just good at his craft, and that's hard,
Yeah.
you know, because all the working pieces that have to come together to that, he's just got it like that. You know, anytime he wants it, it's there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he left. What happened with Ant-Man? Did he leave or did they
I think it had something to do with.
scheduling?
I thought he wanted to take the story in another direction, but Marvel was like, "Nah,
Oh, Ant-Man?
let's not do that."
Yeah.
I don't know.
They probably
but I
they
think
have
that's what
a
it was.
they had an idea for that phase of
Yeah,
the MCU.
but he didn't want to do it that way.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it Edgar Wright way.
Yeah.
and
It was
it
still
didn't
good
happen.
though.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah, it was still good.
To me, the most interesting things in film movies and filmmaking are exactly what you're doing with what your idea is.
Yeah.
What could have
Mhm.
been.
yeah.
And so, like, for example, like the Han Solo movie. I can't wait for in 10 years the documentary of all the drama of how those directors got fired.
You think we'll
and
see that?
for sure there'll be a documentary on.
I hope
on
so.
that. I guarantee it.
I
And
really
there's-
hope so.
And a documentary on what was the other one we were just talking about?
Superman vs. Batman with Snyder.
Well, there's the one on just anything, just any.
Suicide Squad. That was another one
Yeah.
that they totally fucking changed at
that
the last
movie was
minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Edgar Wright with
and
Ant Man.
it would have been so good because it was so much darker, and they said, let's just make it like Deadpool and
Well,
throw in
think
some
about
crazy
Nicolas
songs.
Cage as Superman. There's
Yeah.
a documentary on that actually. You know what I mean? Like,
And Kevin Smith had a great idea, the way he was going to do it with Brainiac and everything. That was fucking
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of weird seeing Nick Cage as Superman, but
Fighting a fucking polar bear.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been weird. But
It's a very interesting story, but if you haven't
The
seen
documentary
it,
was
dude, I
very
keep kicking
good.
your feet. I'm sorry.
the documentary was really fucking good. I remember waiting for that to come out.
Death of Superman
Yeah,
Lives. What
yeah,
happened? Yeah,
yeah.
so good.
Um,
did
but
that guy die?
He did,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You work for Collider.
He did. Yeah,
I'm an old school Collider kid.
yeah.
yeah, I remember you told me about Collider way back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got like 2 minutes, man. Do you want to plug anything before?
I've got nothing.
No?
Just come see our movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
come
yeah.
to the film
If-
bar.
Yeah, come down and see it. Go watch Late Fees. Tell me what you think.
I'll put the
Um,
links up for late fees, and then
Yeah.
come to the film bar the 31st. Starts at 6:00.
And in all honesty, Chad's a regular, so he'll be around.
Yeah,
so.
Chad's gonna be on
I'll-
a million times. We
I'll
don't
be
even have to ask you
somewhere
on here. So
lurking in
yeah,
the
you're
back
fucking definitely
doing
gonna be on
something.
like a million times. So
Yeah.
Don Rizzo, you got anything?
I got nothing, man.
Tell a joke or something. Shit.
Shit, I don't know anything right now.
I do want to say one more thing.
Yeah, say anything you
I
want.
am fucking ecstatic that James Gunn is back on Guardians.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yes.
I was
I
gonna
just
bring
wanted
that
to
up.
say that because oh my fucking god.
Can I say one thing about
Yeah,
that
no,
before?
go ahead.
I want to know because right when he got canned,
Yeah.
there was a whole wave of people on social media who were like, "Yeah, fuck you, yeah."
Yeah.
I want to know what
yeah.
they're thinking now because that was. It's all about second chances. Does it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
our-
and not
our-
only
our
that-
camera was 7 inch. Here I got it.
Not only that,
Camera guy / guest.
yeah.
Keep talking.
We're wrapping in 3 minutes, so
Not only that, he's going to be doing Suicide Squad and finishing
That's crazy.
Suicide Squad, and then doing
and
Guardians of the
I just read an
Galaxy.
article today. He said it's like Suicide's kind of like a reboot.
Yes.
So
Well, I think they kind of have to do that because without Will Smith, I think they did a perfect job recasting that
what
role.
did you think of Will Smith as?
I didn't
Deadshot?
like it.
Me neither.
Yeah. it was
Because
garbage.
to me, Will Smith is always going to be
Will Smith, yeah.
and I'll never watch him in anything and not see Will Smith.
I did
And-
enjoy Margaret Robbie as
Yes,
sure, yeah.
she's great.
She was great.
So
she really killed it.
yes, and she better be in it, and she better be in a decent amount of it because what I last heard is that she's not going to be in much of it because they're going to be doing Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And she should be in both. She is does such a good job as Harley.
Yeah, but as an actress, she probably don't give a fuck anymore.
Well,
Probably
I think that role though is such a good role to play, and I think that role could be, that's a legacy role. That she kills that role. There's very few people that jump into a casting like that, and just hit it on every level.
But she didn't even have a legacy to live up to, though.
Yes.
Like, she's the first to do it.
Yeah, and that's what's so
And it's
great.
like, other than the animated series, but you
Well,
know.
a lot of people don't realize this that aren't in the comics. Harley Quinn is like up there with the number one characters right now, like that people buy. I mean, Harley Quinn carries DC Comics.
Probably. Yeah,
I mean,
think that's safe to say.
You know, I would be really surprised if both Batman and Superman outsell Harley Quinn, at least at the time when that came out. So that is really cool to have somebody come in and just kill that role. She had you know parts of every iteration of Harley Quinn. You know, the Batman Adventures, you know, the Gesture Harley Quinn,
Yep.
the Amanda Connor, you know punk rock Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She did such a good job. And here's the thing that pisses me off the most. I am a Jared Leto Joker fan.
Okay. I was
And-
going to ask you
yes.
about that.
I'm a huge fan of how he played the Joker, and I think that he takes a lot of crap for it because there was so much that they filmed that they didn't show, and that could have made that his role would have been received so much more accolades, and if they would have released that.
He got fucked on the screen time.
He really got
did.
fucked.
Well, the director got fucked with his cut.
He did.
Yes.
He got fucked.
He did.
Yes.
He did. I heard they locked him out of the editing room.
They did.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
but
they totally
I heard
recut
they
it.
literally locked
Yeah.
him out and said,
Yeah.
nope.
After Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, Deadpool came out at the same time, and everybody went,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, this is the greatest comic movie ever
Which,
made."
I'm going to be blunt with you. I fucking hate the first Deadpool movie.
Really?
I hate it. I think it's trash. I think it's pandering.
Yeah.
Because it's pandering to the R-rated audience, but it's like, you're treating us like we're idiots.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're treating us like, oh, we've never had an R-rated superhero film before, but Blade exists.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Just saying.
Well, the funny thing about Deadpool also is that, or not the funny thing, the cool thing that I like about the Deadpool movies is they also played that straight from the comic.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, I like the second one.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm a
like the
huge
second one.
Cable fan, so
That's probably.
I just hate all the people that are acting like they were Deadpool fans for years and all of a
Yeah.
sudden they're Deadpool fans.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
shit I hate. It's like,
Yeah.
where the fuck you never liked Deadpool? Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah. But
Anyway.
I it's funny you brought up that James Gunn thing. Cause
Yeah,
I wanted
I
to
just
I'm
talk
glad
wanted
you
about
did bring that up. No, no, no,
I was
because
like,
I'm really happy
honorable
about that
mention
too.
to him is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
It's
directors,
all about
too,
second
'cause-
chances, man, and people change. I was a different person I was yesterday compared
Yeah.
to fucking 10 years ago.
As
and-
long as
true.
he's not diddling kids like Singer, I'm cool
I don't
with
think
it.
he was ever diddling
No.
kids to begin with.
No.
It's just.
I don't
People
agree
just
with his
can't take
tweets
a
and
fucking
shit. You know what I
joke
mean?
anymore.
But fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
But the dude came from trauma.
I couldn't
Yeah.
Let's
imagine.
think about that.
Yeah.
Rich was on the first episode, brought up the best point. If there was all that shit when we were growing up, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I would be fucking crucified for the shit
Yeah,
I've said. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And
I mean, look at what happened to Victor Salva, for fuck's sake. Now, he did diddle kids,
Yeah.
but I mean, his career's gone.
Well, it should
Like,
be.
that's it. It should be.
Fucking
And
A.
I agree.
Yeah, get rid of that
I
fucker.
mean-
Same with Singer. Get rid of him,
who's
man.
Victor Salva?
What did Singer do?
Singer is notorious for
Brian Singer?
Brian
Brian
Singer.
Singer.
You gotta
Little
look this
boy
up.
sex parties,
Yeah.
I
bro.
did not know he did anything.
So a new
What?
thing came out today where Patrick Stewart is.
He diddled
Oh, I didn't
Patrick
know that.
Stewart.
No, Patrick Stewart's throwing him
Damn.
under the bus because
Exclusive.
Patrick Stewart's like, yes, I didn't know,
No
I didn't know
idea.
about anything, but there were rumors on set, and supposedly who's the guy that played Nightwing? Alan Cummings.
Yeah.
Alan Cummings didn't want to come back to play
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler,
Jesus Christ.
You saw that? I knew it before.
Yeah,
I saw
so,
it.
so Alan, he didn't
mark
want to come
this.
back to play Nightcrawler because he didn't want to work with Bryan Singer, and there is if you go on and do some research about Bryan Singer, that dude is a piece of shit, man.
He got fired from the Queen movie. You know that?
I didn't know he
Yeah.
was even set to direct it.
He
Yeah.
was directing
Bohemian
it.
Rhapsody?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, and Sam. What's his
Rami
name?
Malek
Rami
didn't
Malek.
even thank him in his Oscar speech because they had gotten into a fight because basically he's
I
a
had
fucking pedophile.
No idea
Yeah, a lot
that
of
Singer was
drama.
into that
Yeah.
shit.
Anyway, we gotta
Yeah.
wrap up here. We'll talk about this on the
Oh,
next.
God,
I apologize,
that's
guys. We wrap on that.
Pedophilia and all. what a way to end it, man.
Yeah, right.
God.
Well,
Anyway,
Chad. Well, before we go, Chad, just thank you, man, for
Dude,
doing
yeah,
everything
no,
you've done here,
thank
and
you
we
guys
appreciate
for-
it, man.
yeah,
and,
big time, bro.
I love late fees. I'll tell you again.
Dude,
I'll
I
keep
appreciate
in-
that, man.
I'm
So much.
really
That means a
look-
lot to me because
Yeah.
that's my baby
Yeah.
right now. You know?
Good. So, and people go out to the film bar and March 31st and check it out. So your new documentary, what's the title?
He watched a lot of movies.
He watched a lot of movies.
Oh yeah, I'm stoked. All right, that's the Bogcast episode 7. That's a wrap. Say thanks so much, man.
Bang!